If tomorrow morning you woke up, reached across the bed, and the person you've shared your life with was simply gone, what's the very first thing you'd wish you had done differently? Would it be that you didn't say I love you enough? That you put off that trip you both dreamed about? That you never really talked about the hard things because you thought you'd have more time? Most of us live as if tomorrow is guaranteed. And then one day, without warning, we discover it isn't. Before we go further, if this thought makes you stop, breathe, and really think, please take a second to like this video. It helps more people find Elderly Active Life, where we share daily wisdom and gentle reminders to make the most of every moment we have. Now, I want to tell you about the truths people only understand after they lose the love of their life, and how you can avoid living with those same regrets. Before we begin, each of these regrets I'm about to share isn't meant to make you sad. It's meant to help you see just how much beauty and meaning you can bring into your marriage right now. Think of them as gentle reminders, ways to make sure that when your last chapter together is written, it's overflowing with love, laughter, and peace, not if-onlys. Regret number 1, not saying enough while there's still time. When my friend Walter lost his wife, Anna, after 52 years of marriage, he didn't talk much about the funeral, the paperwork, or even the loneliness at night. Instead, he told me about breakfast. Every morning, for decades, they sat together with coffee, toast, and the newspaper between them. They didn't always talk. Sometimes it was just a shared silence, the kind of silence that feels warm, not cold. After she was gone, he still made coffee, still put the newspaper on the table, but the chair across from him stayed empty, and that emptiness was deafening. He said, "I thought I had all the time in the world to tell her things, but I never said the words I really wanted to say, not the way I should have." We think our partner already knows how much we love them. We think they understand the gratitude we feel for the little things they do. But too often, we keep our most heartfelt words locked away for special occasions. The truth? Every day together is a special occasion. The ordinary Tuesday mornings matter just as much as the wedding anniversaries. I remember another couple, Mary and George. Mary used to write George little notes and leave them in his coat pocket. Nothing poetic, just things like, "Your smile still makes my day," or "I'm making your favorite pie tonight," just because. When George passed, Mary found those same notes he had kept in his wallet for years. Some crumpled, some worn thin, but all precious. She said, "Those scraps of paper are my treasures now." I never have to wonder if he knew. If you're listening right now, think about this. When was the last time you told your spouse how much they mean to you, without a holiday or milestone as the reason? Regret number 2, letting memories fade without preserving the details. In my attic, there's a box of photographs. Some are decades old, edges curling, colors fading into soft yellows and browns. Margaret, who lost her husband David after 44 years of marriage, told me something that stuck with me. She had hundreds of photos, but very few stories written down. She couldn't remember the name of that little cafe in Paris, or why they were both laughing so hard in the picture from their camping trip. "It's like I have the outlines," she said, "but the colors are fading." It's not just about snapping pictures, it's about keeping the story alive. The way the rain smelled that afternoon. The song playing on the radio when you danced in the kitchen. The inside joke no one else would ever understand. I met another couple, Ron and Ellen, who had a simple ritual. Whenever they came home from an outing, they'd take 5 minutes to jot down where they went, who they saw, and what made them laugh. After Ron passed, Ellen said those notebooks were her lifeline. When the grief felt heavy, she'd open one and step right back into the moment, able to hear his voice in her head, even smell his aftershave. Don't leave your memories to chance. Tonight, pick one photo, old or new, and write the story of that day. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just a few sentences can hold a lifetime. If these stories are giving you something to think about, remember, we share daily reflections here on Elderly Active Life to help you live with fewer regrets and more joy. Consider subscribing so you don't miss tomorrow's gentle reminder. Regret number 3, avoiding the difficult conversations about the future. We don't like to talk about death. Not with friends, not even with our spouse. Helen and her husband, Mark, avoided those conversations completely. No wills, no funeral wishes, not even a clear picture of their finances. We thought talking about it would make it happen, she told me. So they didn't. When Mark died suddenly, Helen was left with grief and a mountain of confusion. Bank accounts she didn't know existed. Bills in his name she didn't know how to pay. Questions she couldn't answer because the person who had them was gone. I know it feels uncomfortable. I know it feels like it might break the magic. But in truth, those conversations don't weaken love, they strengthen it. It's like leaving a map for the person you love most, so that when they're lost in grief, they at least know where the next step is. I once sat in on a family meeting where an older couple, Tom and Lila, shared their wishes with their children. They laughed, they cried, and in the end, Lila said something beautiful. We're not planning for the end. We're planning to make sure our love keeps taking care of you, even after we're gone. That's what these conversations really are. Love in its most practical form. Regret number 4, waiting for someday that never comes. Carol and her husband always talked about taking a cross-country train trip. They imagined sipping coffee in the dining car, watching the landscape change from mountains to plains to ocean. But there was always something. Work deadlines, house repairs, waiting for the right season. And then, one day, she was waiting alone. She told me, "We thought we were saving it for the perfect time, but the perfect time never came." It doesn't have to be a grand trip. It could be trying that dance class you've talked about for years, planting a garden together, visiting the town where you first met. Every time we say we'll do it later, we're betting that later will come. And that's a gamble none of us can guarantee. I knew a couple, Vince and Clara, who set aside 1 weekend a month for an adventure, big or small. Sometimes it was just driving to a nearby town they'd never visited. Sometimes it was trying a new recipe together. But every month, without fail, they added another story to their collection. After Clara passed, Vince said those weekends were the best decision they ever made. "We lived our dreams in little pieces," he said, "so we never ran out of memories." If this is striking a chord, share this video with someone you care about. It might be the gentle nudge they need to stop postponing the moments that matter most. Regret number 5, losing yourself in the process of loving someone else. This one often hits hardest after the funeral. When you've been part of a we for decades, it's easy to forget the me. We build our lives around our spouse, their routines, their likes, their needs. It's an act of love, but sometimes it comes at the cost of our own identity. James, a widower in his early 80s, told me, "I didn't have hobbies anymore. I didn't have friends of my own. I didn't even know what food I liked without her." Loving your spouse deeply doesn't mean losing yourself completely. In fact, the healthier, happier, and more fulfilled you are, the more you bring into the marriage. I remember Teresa, whose husband encouraged her to keep painting even when she felt guilty for spending the time. When he passed, those canvases became a way for her to process grief, to feel connected to him, and to still have something that was hers. So pick up that old hobby. Call an old friend. Say yes to something new. You are more than half of a couple. You are a whole person with a lifetime of experiences still waiting to be lived. Bringing it all together. When we lose a spouse, the regrets aren't about the arguments or the little annoyances. They're about the words left unsaid, the memories left undocumented, the plans left unmade, and the dreams left unlived. And sometimes they're about forgetting ourselves along the way. But you don't have to wait for loss to teach you these lessons. You can start living differently today. Tell them you love them, not just on anniversaries, but on rainy Tuesday mornings. Write down the little stories behind your favorite photos. Have the hard conversations. Say yes to that dream you've been putting off. And never lose sight of who you are in the process. Final thoughts. If this touched your heart, let it move your hands and feet. Go hug your spouse. Make that call. Book that trip. Write that note. And if you want gentle daily reminders like this, subscribe to Elderly Active Life. We post every day because life is too short to forget what matters. One day, that chair at the breakfast table might be empty. But if you live fully now, You'll fill that empty space with a lifetime of moments you wouldn't trade for anything.